Hey guys, it's Minxymooful and welcome to my channel. Today's tutorial is on Harlequin from the video game series of Batman. The first step is to put a wig on, but obviously if you don't want to wear a wig then you have to skip this step. It's pretty easy to do, just follow what I'm doing on screen. And then put your hair off your face with a bobble or a headband. So your next step is you're going to want to apply moisturiser to any area you're going to put makeup on. This just to protect your skin and keep it nice and healthy. We're preparing the skin for our next step, which is the Clown White by Snazaroo. We're going to apply a thin layer with a foundation brush and a buffing brush and a sponge. The reason we're using all these different tools is to help create a matte texture. The buffing brush will thin out the layers and the sponge will give it a skin texture rather than a brush stroke texture, which you can easily see if it's in person. I'm going to set what we've just done with a skin coloured powder and dust it off with a light blusher because we don't want to make the skin seem too flat. We want to give it a bit of depth. We'll go back to the blusher in a bit, but just apply a light coat for now. Contouring, my favourite part. Right, so you're just going to go on the jawline, any areas that your natural bone structure pick up, so your cheekbones. I have on top of my forehead, that's just because I have quite a big forehead and it's something I always do. To blend all this out, you're going to apply a light skin coloured powder foundation to any areas that look a bit too caked. As you can see, the forehead had to go a few times. Okay, so now we're going to go with Krylen's neutral eyeshadow palette, and we're going to do a smoky eye in the colours black and grey. Stick these colours for now, and we'll add the other colours in the next few steps. I'm using an eyeshadow pen just to steady my hand. I want a blurred line at the bottom, but I don't want a straight line, otherwise I would have used a sellotape trick. You just want to keep it kind of simple and not that dark for now. Here I'm using Krylen's blush palette. I'm using the red colour just because it's so pigmented and it's fantastic, just to go over the outlines of the faded black. But then let's just give it a hint of red, just like Harlequin's costume. Okay, so I've gone in with Krylen's lip liner in red, the Shiseido, it's a hard thing to pronounce, lipstick in SP4, and then the Gemma Kid Makeup School lip gloss. I've done these three products because it just creates a lovely combination and it kind of looks ombre, but we'll add to that in a bit. The way you do your eyebrows will dramatically affect the outcome of your character. I've gone for a baked-in serious expression by pulling them out towards the middle a little bit but keeping them very straight. You can do them however you want, but I prefer this style. Okay, so now we're going to focus on the highlights and the lowlights of the eye. I've highlighted the brow bone, just with a white or cream, and it's not shimmery, it's matte. This is the Krylen eyeshadow palette again, and then I've gone in with the Krylen bright eyeshadow palette and low lighted with a dark red and purple on the crease. And then to draw a bit of focus to the actual eyes, I've gone in with an orangey red on the lid. I've left the inside corners white, just because I think that makes my eyes look a lot bigger and more awake. This eyeliner is super easy. It's just basic cat eye with a flick and go on to the bottom waterline, stopping at the pupil. The reason I stop there is I want to leave the focus in the middle, I don't want to drag it outwards anywhere. This is the part where we create Harley's signature cheeky grin. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go along the edge of my lips with a liquid eyeliner pen, and then I'm just going to go along the bottom to contrast it, and same with the other side, so it's just going to create a baked-in smile that I can't not do. I really like it. I think it gives a very almost jokery look, but a lot more subtle. Because we've darkened the lips quite a lot, we need to go ahead and lighten them, so I'm taking a white shimmery powder and just creating a highlight on the middle of my lips. Right, let your hair down, try to put it back up again. Harley's got pigtails, so I'm just going to take a bubble either side and put in quite a high pigtail. Make sure you have a lot of hairspray for this step. I'm going to thoroughly backcomb every side to get a lot of volume. I'm using Got to Be Glue just because it really works with synthetic wigs. You can see here I'm just using the backcombing brush, upward motions, and then stroking the top layers over just to make sure it doesn't look like a rat brush. It's about to get pretty messy, so pop your hair up the top of your head to keep it all nice and clean. Okay, it's time to create Harlequin's costume. I'm just taking a Snazaroo red face paint, it's water-based, and I am just going to paint on the shoulder strap. I use sellotape to get a really clean edge on the outside, that's just because that's the one that I'm going to see the most. For this one I designed it so it would have like kind of a corset lace, so that's what that little line there is for. Keep the colour nice and even if you can. I know it's hard with the water-based paint, but you just have to keep layering it up and layering it up. Obviously, because she is a game character, everything in her clothes is shadowed, outlined, contrasted heavily, so I'm just going to outline everything in a black water-based paint by Snazaroo again. And then she's got a corset bit on the design I made, so I just went across like a shoelace pattern. It was really easy and simple. It took about, what, 6 seconds, and it added so much in terms of detail. It's time to do the black half of the costume. You can't really go wrong with this, so long as you keep the lines straight and the angles pretty much the same as the other half. I haven't done it exactly the same because I wanted there to be a little bit of asymmetry, but I've kept it pretty much the same place, and I haven't made any crazy, so it's just one plain black strap. Okay, so we're making Harlequin's choker now. It's hard to go wrong with the necklace part. All you have to do is 2 even lines going around your neck like a choker would. Then I'm going to mix Krylon Shimmering Vision palette. It's got like a white silver and a dark grey. I'm going to mix those two to create metal silver. I'm just going to create a nice even circle. I had someone with me so they could judge if it was proper or not, because I can't really tell on my own neck. But it's pretty easy if you have someone to help you. Now powder those thoroughly so it doesn't smudge, and then you want to go over with an eyeliner and just make the outer circle bolder. It's little details that really set a piece off. So if this, I drew little fabric lines and I sprayed a bit of dirt on it just so it looked like it was proper fabric and not just body paint. It was pretty easy considering it only took a few seconds. The clean up was the hardest part. Right, here's a super awkward part. I drew on my boob because Harley's got a massive amount of cleavage. I didn't feel like having my real cleavage on show, so just thought I'd draw it on to look better. It was more exaggerated. I went with bronzer and went across my collarbones, my neck, everywhere, just to make me look a bit more defined. This is pretty easy, just use a bronzer or a dark foundation, powder form obviously. The boob's pretty easy, just go along where you naturally would have a cleavage and then go with a darker brown to make it look like it's shaded, like actual shadow, not like you've drawn it on. You can see here I was trying to get them symmetrical. It went okay, but obviously it just depends on your actual chest shape. Everyone has different, so just go with what you have naturally. Here I was cleaning up the chin line I did because I think it was way too thick. I wouldn't have done this if I had the chance again, so I wouldn't recommend putting it into your look. Okay, so now I'm adding a bit of blush from the Krylon blush palette. I stuck mainly the apples of my cheeks so it gave me that little porcelain doll rosy cheek look. Okay, so this is the part where I stuck on false eyelashes. There are so many tutorials how to do this on YouTube, so I'm not going to bother going into detail. I just used duo eyelash glue and some really thick cheap eyelashes I got from a beauty supply shop near my house. It was okay, they're irritating when they're that big. Okay, here's the completed look. I really enjoyed doing this, and if you have any ideas for any other costumes or cosplays or makeup you want me to try, I will happily get around to that. If you haven't got my Instagram already, you should follow me for all the behind the scenes pictures and editing processes, and I do a lot of questions on there if you want to have any questions answered or ask them. Have a lovely day, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!